Hoopers, and welcome to another beginner tutorial. I am using a 34 OD Poly Pro. We're first going to talk about tosses. When tossing the hoop, think fingers are the guide. So I'm going to point my fingers on the release where I want the hoop to go. Here it is again, but with the hoop not spinning. I'm just scooping my wrist down and then pointing the fingers up as I release the hoop. Here's another one for over the shoulder toss. This one, I'm just guiding my wrist down to go underneath my shoulders. Again, I want to point my fingers up, or really my wrist up in this case, to shoot the hoop over my shoulder. Now for a pizza toss. Now with pizza toss, my grip is going to be at my side, and I do a little claw grip. So I don't grip the hoop fully, it's really just resting on the tips of my fingers. But again, I'm going to shoot my fingers up to the sky. Notice here again that the grip is not fully gripped on the hoop, but just resting to shoot it to the sky. Here it is with a full grip. I find it just a little more difficult to get this grip to do a pizza toss, which is why I like to do my claw grip. Again, my fingers are pointing straight up for the pizza toss to go straight above me. Again, I do the same little claw grip whenever I go into my Vortex one. So again, the hoop is just resting on the tips of my fingers, and remembering that when I release the hoop, my fingers shoot to the sky to act as the guide. Here is a elbow toss. The hoop is spinning on my right elbow and it is spinning to my right. I'm going to bend down my knees to get some momentum, and then I will shoot my arm straight up to the sky for the hoop to go straight up above me. One way I like to get into elbow hooping from a weave. So from a forwards weave, as the hoop comes to my right side, I'm going to bend in my elbow and push the hoop onto my elbow to begin elbow hooping. Now notice how the hoop is going left. I'm going to break it with my arm to send it in the opposite direction. So I bring my arm out and hit the hoop onto my wrist to push it in the opposite direction, and putting my arm back in when that gap reopens. And again, shooting it up to the sky. So to see this from behind, forwards weave. Once it comes to my right side, bringing in my elbow. For the break, I swing my arm out. And before it comes over to that side again, I'm going to break it with the top of my wrist to send it in the opposite direction. Quickly bringing my hand in as that gap opens. And then boop, shoot it up. Here is the hoop spinning to the left. I feel you don't get as high of a toss. And you can also try it with it spinning to the right on your left elbow. Here's a little toss I like to do in my flow. Starting with your palm facing down, you're just bringing the hoop up and catching it on the inside of the hoop. Great way to transition into isolations or little foldy things. You can also do this and catch with the opposite hand. You can do this in a horizontal plane, just pulling the hoop back to you and grabbing with your hands on the inside. Great way to transition into on body. You can also do this with two hands. Here is a coin flip toss from a horizontal plane. I am just hinging the hoop, swinging it back and forth. So my palm will go palm up to palm down. My grip is in it like a pointer finger grip, so my pointer finger is pointing out. And again, shooting my finger to the hot sky as I release the hoop to guide the hoop up. And then I'm catching really anywhere I can catch the hoop. So again, I'm swinging the hoop. When my palm goes to face up, that is when I release the hoop up. If you want to grab a smaller hoop, it will give you a few more rotations in the sky. Now for Vortex plus some variations, going to start with this two-hand switch variation. You will be guiding the hoop up with your palm facing down. You will switch the grip where your pinkies meet to your opposite hand and guide back down, cross body, palm facing down. So again, pinkies meet at the top to switch the grip. And you can think about you're basically putting your seatbelt on at each end point. So I'm putting my seatbelt on to one side and then putting the seatbelt on to the other side. So now moving on to a one-handed vortex. With my grip on the inside of the hoop, I am going to guide it up cross-body with my palm facing down. Once I get to the top, I'm going to shoot my finger to the sky. The hoop will then do a rotation. When it gets back into my hand, I will guide it back down. So again, coming up cross-body, shooting my fingers to the sky at the top, hoop will get back into my hand, guiding it back down to the start. Now for the classic two-handed vortex. With this one, turning is very helpful. So again, I am turning to the left. At the top, I am grabbing with my left hand to guide back down. Grip will be on the inside for the left hand, and then it will switch to an outside grip behind you in the back. Again, turning will help to make that awkward switching of the seatbelt motion not so awkward. So when I guide back up, I will be guiding, my thumbs will meet, getting that grip to guide again cross body. My hands will be fully extended at the top and at the bottom. When I pass it to my right hand, I am not doing a full grip. I'm making that little tip of the finger shelf to guide the hoop back up. You can do a full grip if you'd like. For me, this is just what comes natural, so that's why I do it. But if a full grip helps you with your right hand, then of course do that as well. So just remembering, putting on your seatbelt, arms fully extended top and bottom, and turning helps. All right, here are a few shoulder hooping tips. I have a more in-depth tutorial on this, so if you would like that, please DM me. Starting from neck hooping, I'm just moving my body side to side to continue that neck hooping. To go into shoulder hooping, I'm going to bring my left shoulder up first because I'm hooping to the left, and then I will immediately start to turn. Now when you are shoulder hooping, your hoop is hitting you in 4 points, so it's hitting you on the arm, the back, the other arm, and the front of the chest. I am just gently nudging in these 4 points, and of course turning will help you be able to keep it going. Standing still will make it a lot harder. So here is another way you can get into it. Remember finding the gap. So we're going to bring in one arm first. We can bring in that arm when the hoop is completely on our back. That's when the gap is open in front. Once it gets to my arm, before you bring the other arm in, you can go ahead and start to turn and begin getting into that shoulder hooping. Just remembering to think about the gap, and when the hoop is on my back again, that will be my timing to bring my opposite arm in. And again, going right in, giving the hoop a lot of energy to keep it going onto these shoulders to continue that shoulder hooping. Now, one thing that can happen whenever you bring both arms in, so you really got that down, but then the hoop gets to your neck, you can just do what we just did before and just bring that shoulder in and continue shoulder hooping. Now this will show you how exaggerated it is to stand still and shoulder hoop. That's why turning is really helpful. And again, I do have a more in-depth tutorial on this, so if you would like it, please DM me. And this is going to conclude our beginner hooping tutorial. Thank you for watching and happy hooping.